Hello, welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the V.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I want to thank everyone at TV47, Chris, Robert, everyone who helps us put on our program to let you know about things that are going on in our community that are connected to the library in some way. I'm very excited today. Brian Dix is joining me. Thank you for being here, Brian.
Thank you for having me, Mandy.
It's an early, cool morning, I know. But we're here to talk about the Civitan Club. I know, Brian, you are the president?
I'm currently president, yes.
Right, that's correct. I know we got our note at work about ordering Vidalia onions, and that made me think. I read a little bit more about what Civitan does and wanted to know a little bit more about it.
Okay.
So great. Before we get started, Brian, you can just tell our audience about yourself. Are you from here? Different things like that?
No, I'm not originally from here. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. But we moved to Alabama in 1984 with my job, and then in 1988, about 33 years ago, we moved here to Sylacauga. I was with West Building Material, the old West Building Material, and done a few different things since then. I've had the Sears store downtown when it was, remember the old building where CVS is now?
Yes.
And then sold cars for quite a few years, and then I got back into the building materials business with Home Depot. Retired from Home Depot last fall.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so now I'm volunteering. My time is spent volunteering, mostly for my wife.
That's okay.
I got that honey-do list of start projects around the home. But trying to get involved with Habitat for Humanity. They are starting back up again, and then. But most of my volunteer work is through Civitan. And I said, as you mentioned, I'm currently the club president for the fourth time since we've started up. But
so you've been very involved with them since the very beginning.
Yes, yeah, I've been involved with the club since we chartered in 2004. But then also got involved with at the district level, and I'm a past district governor for Central Alabama. Wow. So it's been a good time working with Civitan.
That's great. Well, you must really have a heart for this if you're involved more than just here in town. You're involved at the local or the state level.
Yes,
that is wonderful.
Yeah.
What does Civitan do? That is a broad question, I know, but go ahead and tell us.
Well, Civitan is a worldwide organization of volunteers, and we work for the betterment of our local communities, with an emphasis on the IDD community. Civitan was actually organized in 1917 by a group of businessmen in Birmingham, and they wanted to make a difference in their community. And in 1920, then they became an international organization, and it rapidly expanded through the United States, and the world headquarters remains in Birmingham.
Oh, that's wonderful, close by.
Yeah, and actually. Just this last couple months, they've moved to the 280 corridor, so they're very, very
even
close
closer
to
for us.
Even closer for us, yes.
Good.
But they currently there's about 10,000 members worldwide. We have clubs in United States, of course, Canada, Mexico, Europe, Southeast Asia, Africa. So it's a pretty extensive organization.
Yes, it is. And I know you mentioned working with the IDD community. That is people or children with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's quite a challenge, quite a project, though. A very worthwhile project.
It is. Actually, the focus came about in the early 1940s. There was Civitans in the Baltimore area. They were inspired by a young man by the name of Tommy McNulty, and he was born with Down syndrome. His family didn't want to put him in a home. The state hospitals was very common in that time, even through the 60s and 70s. That was common to place that. So they began to raise money and awareness for special educators in that area so that they could keep him at home. And Dr. Shropshire, who was one of the founding fathers of Civitan, was living in Baltimore at that time, and he became friends with the McNultys. And so he pushed Civitan to help with this project, and at 1956, that more or less became our focus, was to help folks with IDD.
That's great.
And so, yeah, as a result, Civitans, they unanimously adopted that as one of our programs.
That is great. I'm glad times have changed. I know you said at that time when this young man was born, a lot of families just would put them in a institution or a home somewhere, but I'm glad there's a shift in keeping those children with their family and providing help for them.
Yes.
So that's great, and that's part of, I'm sure, what y'all do.
Yes, it
Things
is.
like that.
Yeah.
That's great. And I know that's something we enjoy, working with students like that at the library. I do a story time called Exceptional Friends Story Time, which meets one Saturday a month, most of the time. That's what we do. And we meet, I have a story time. It's for children with autism, children that have trouble sitting still, who need to learn in a different way. So it's a regular story time, but it's kind of geared towards those children who need more hands-on, more active, activities and books and things. We have a great time. We have a small group that meets, and the families are welcome to come, brothers, sisters, moms, dads. I had a grandmother come, but we have stories and songs, and then we play. I've bought fidget toys. I say I have. The library has weighted blankets, lots of different things, lots of different hands-on things, and just lots of toys that kids like to play with. So we have a great time.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned was like the families. Of course, we take care of the ones with special needs, but the families are oftentimes left out and forgotten about. And so one of the projects we've had over the years now, because of the pandemic, we haven't done anything the last couple of years. But
nobody has. Nobody's done much.
We did have host Christmas parties for the elementary age students, but also their siblings to come and participate and have a good time where they could have some hands-on projects like decorating cookies and artwork and that.
And that is important, I think, to include brothers, sisters, family members, because it's a family project.
Yes.
It's a family activity.
Yeah.
Well, that is exciting. I'll tell you, we're going to pause for just a moment, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Brian.
Experience the 14th Annual Sylacauga Magic of Marble Festival, April 5th through the 16th. See sculptors from around the world at Central Park. This year's featured sculptor is Francesco Gazzi. Take part in the marble scavenger hunt beginning March 25th. Register for a quarry tour. Explore the B.B. Comer Memorial Library sales and marble rooms. For more information, go to magicofmarblefestival.com or call 256-249-0961. Come experience the magic of marble.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Brian Diggs, who is the president of the Civitan chapter here in Sylacauga, which has been around since 2004. Right. I'm glad to know that. It's so nice to have different people giving of their time in our community. So thank you and all of your members there. We were talking about your focus is on children with intellectual and developmental disabilities. What do you do for them? I know there's a ramp building thing in town and some other things you do.
So, we do ramp builds, and not necessarily for children, although the first one we did was for a child that was in a wheelchair. But I think the child had brittle bone disease. And so we helped construct a ramp for them. But the ramps are for those that are disabled and really have a struggle, need to get in and out of their home. We've averaged 2 to 3 ramps a year. As a matter of fact, this year we've built 2 since the first of the year, which is
Oh, wow.
real,
Yeah.
2 that were pretty quick. We usually don't have them that close together, but it's a good opportunity for us to get out and help those that have a true need. And,
Do y'all build those yourself? Or?
we do, and then we have other clubs in the area. Birmingham area will come and help with us to when we don't have enough hands-on. But one of the last ramps we built, we partnered with Home Depot, and they had volunteers out there. Of course, I had that connection where they
That's
wanted to
okay.
help.
Connections
help
are
with
great.
it.
Yeah.
And then and we're always looking for people to come out and help. We have several members that their husbands don't belong to the club, but they come and they help build the ramps, and that's just a good opportunity for anybody that wants to do some service work.
Yes, yes. Well, I know we've got some slides, some of the ramps that were built, so we'll look at those and see. Okay, tell us what's going on there.
Well, this is not actually a ramp, as you can see. It's indoors, but we're at the South Talladega County ARC. We went in and built some workstations for the clients to do their artwork and be able to display their art. So we went along that wall with that build. That's that same project.
They're a wonderful group. We also work with them. They come to the library.
Here we're installing a handrail. This lady in town did not need a ramp, but she didn't have any way to get up and down the front steps without any support, so we put a handrail up for her. Now here's one of the ramp builds that we recently done. This is the one that we partnered with Home Depot on. And that was the finished product. It wasn't a very long ramp, but it was something that they able to.
There's a long
clients.
one.
Now this was a longer one, that we did this past month, and it was a project that took a couple days, but we got in and got it done, and the clients were very happy for it. We're still getting good comments about that ramp for those folks.
I know we don't think about that too much, or I don't. I think, well, somebody needs a ramp, somebody will build one, but not everybody has the money or I couldn't build a ramp. I wouldn't know how to do that, but maybe people don't have the money for it or don't have the knowledge of how to build it themselves, or anybody in their family that can.
And of course, with building costs going up, it's very sometimes a ramp like that was extensive in price. But fortunately, we had some donors, and the family was able to help out with it some as well. So we.
That's wonderful. I know they are so glad that you can help them out. Very appreciative, because you don't think about it. I guess to get into my house, there's a step or two, maybe not a lot of steps.
Yeah.
So a lot of houses it's the same
and
way.
so the length of the ramp depends on how high up you have to go, because we do build it to code where 1 inch rise for every foot high you have to go up. So
well, that's one thing I hadn't even thought about, trying to build a code. So y'all cover all the bases. Huh?
Yes, yeah.
That is wonderful. That's wonderful. I know we had another slide or two, maybe of a meeting.
Yeah, the other slide that was up was each year Civitans recognize the local clergy, and it's called Clergy Appreciation. Here I'm speaking to the Ministerial Association. That was in February, about a month ago. We talked about how this all came about. Clergy Appreciation was started back in the early 1960s by a Civitan Club, and it caught on with all the Civitans. But back in 1944, during World War II, there was a troop ship named the Uss Dorchester, and it was sunk by a German U-boat in the North Atlantic Sea. There were 4 chaplains on board, 2 Protestant, a Catholic priest, and a Jewish rabbi. They gave up their life jackets to save others. There was over 900 people in that troop ship, and I think there was only like 200 survivors. And witnesses say that when the ship went down, they could see the 4 chaplains arm in arm together singing and praying. So
my
that was
goodness.
that's why we've recognized. And that happened on February the 3rd. So in February we always recognize the local clergy. So after I spoke at that meeting, we presented those present with a gift. And we've done different things over the years, hosted luncheons and that, but it was always a good opportunity to help other people that serve as well.
Yes, that's true, and they do probably more than we know. I
Yes,
saw my
they do.
pastor in that picture, so
Yeah.
he's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that is great. So y'all do serve children, clergy, adults, everybody in the area. That's great. How do you raise the money for something, for those
Well,
projects? Building materials have gone up. I know.
Yeah, we have different fundraisers through the year. Our largest fundraiser is going on right now. Our Vidalia onion sales. We're taking orders for Vidalia onions. We'll take orders through the 19th of April and expect delivery the first second week in May. For those, they're selling for $11 for a 10-pound bag, and we that's our primary fundraising source. But we've done in the fall we'll sell pecans, and we sell Claxton fruitcakes. No, that seems that's a sore subject to some folks that we don't want to sell fruitcakes. So I'm thankful for our local Piggly Wiggly stores.
Yeah.
Because when you buy the fruitcakes and the Piggly Wigglies, you're actually buying them through Civitan. We go into the Piggly Wigglies, we fill those stores up with the Claxton fruitcakes, and every year we sell more than we did the previous year. So somebody likes fruitcakes, and somebody's buying them, and we appreciate the Piggly Wigglies for helping us out with that
is
project.
Wonderful. I did not realize that. Well, I'm not a big fan of fruitcake. My husband loves it though, so I'll have to be sure and buy Claxton fruitcake.
Claxton fruitcake.
All right.
Yeah.
And the onions, I have to tell you, that is an unusual fundraiser. But everybody uses onions to cook.
Yeah, and these are the good sweet Vidalia onions. We've been selling them for several years now, and it's been a very popular item. And people say, well, I can't use a 10-pound bag, that's too many. But Vidalia onions will store well. If you keep them in a cool, dry place. I know one year, my wife and we had them hanging up in a spare room closet all the way down. So,
Okay, well, a nice cool place.
Yeah. So it's of course the room smelled like onions for for quite some time, but it's a good fundraiser, and people enjoy it. Something that's usable.
Yes, that is great. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Now in the past we've done other things like have auctions and raffles and yard sale. We used to have a yard sale out on the corner by Sprayberry's Insurance.
Yes.
Right in Sprayberry. So. It's different things, and we'll come up with different fundraisers. Now, one other thing that I'm thankful for is when we don't have a fundraiser, we have some generous members. And there was a project that we discussed last week at our club meeting, how we can help the Ukrainian refugees. Although that's not something that's local, we felt that we needed to do something, and the club committed $250 to do that because it wasn't in our budget. But we put it out to the club. Anybody wants to make a donation, and we very quickly collected up to $1,000.
Oh my goodness!
And so that money will be going to Ukrainian refugee relief.
Gosh, y'all are a very generous group. That means you just have a heart for not only for our community but for the world.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. We're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Experience the 14th Annual Sylacauga Magic of Marble Festival, April 5th through the 16th. See sculptors from around the world at Central Park. This year's featured sculptor is Francesco Gazzi. Take part in the marble scavenger hunt beginning March 25th. Register for a quarry tour. Explore the B.B. Comer Memorial Library sales and marble rooms. For more information, go to magicofmarblefestival.com or call 256-249-0961. Come experience the magic of marble.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Brian Diggs, who is the president of the local Civitan chapter here in Sylacauga. And we've got to get busy and get to the rest of the things. You said the last thing we talked about is the onions. How could somebody order onions if they wanted to?
They can contact any club member if you know who the Civitans are. We just contact any local club member to place your order. You can also take your prepaid order by Renaissance Bank on James Payton Boulevard. Okay. Donna Brown and Tina Jackson are both club members, and Donna is our treasurer, so that would be very convenient to just take the money into her. But if Donna's not there, see Tina, and they'll take your money for your orders. And again, it's $11 for a 10-pound bag.
Right. And they're great. They're great. What other projects do y'all have going on now?
Well, we this Saturday we'll be going to Camp Aska to work on cleanup, getting the camp ready for summer campers to come in. This weekend, they also do a fun fish weekend on the weekend that we go down and camp. So we'll be interacting with the campers down there that have gone in to fish, and they always have a big time, even with a fish that size is that size to them. Of course, that's true with any fisherman, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, it gets a little bigger more you talk about it.
That's a good time, and we'll take cleaning supplies down, supplies that they can use throughout the summer camp session, and we also make a donation to Camp Aska. And one of the things with Civitan, our motto is Builders of Good Citizenship, and we get involved with the young people quite a bit as well. We sponsor a junior Civitan club at the Sylacauga High School.
Okay, good.
And we have a scholarship available for a graduating senior that we give out. And then also there's a youth leadership forum every summer that we sponsor one or two youth to go to. It's out at Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas. So we send some students out there to that. It's a very educational and very productive session for them.
Great experience. That's wonderful. Now, I know one thing we haven't touched on is the Civitan International Research Center in Birmingham.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, it's so the Civitan International Research Center was created in 1989 with a $20 million pledge from Civitans. And since they opened in 1992, they've become one of the world leaders in research for treatment of IDD people. And maybe people don't realize, but 1 in 6 persons are affected by IDD. So it's quite a few. But in addition to the clinical research that they do, they provide scientists provide training and treatment for people through the Sparks Clinic. And actually they were named as a clinical research center of excellence through the study of Rett syndrome. And Rett syndrome is a neurological disease that affects the muscles use of young people, and mostly occurs in young females. Okay. It's not something that males have much of, but it's something that affects the females a lot. But the research center has 19 departments and 5 schools at the University of Alabama. If you're ever downtown Alabama, the research center is right next to the hospital.
Okay.
And I forget which street that is, but I think, but it's down there. And there's more than 130 scientists that conduct research, therapy, and treatment under the CIRC banner. And it expands the entire lifespan. We talk about children, but they're doing a lot of work with Alzheimer's and research, tumors, brain tumors. They're doing research with that. And over the last 10 years, the Civitan Sparks Clinic has seen over 25,000 patients, where they go up and help them with clinical studies. Research centers our flagship project of Civitan, and Civitan's recently committed another $250,000 to that. And a lot of the money, of course, most of the money they get is through grants, but they need seed money, and our money is the seed money to get the grants. So that it's a very worthwhile endeavor.
That is. So y'all are raising money not only for local projects, but for also the CIRC.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And then right here in Alabama, the International Research.
Yeah, there was several options. One was out west, one was, I think, at Duke University, and all these universities have applied for to get this center, and it just so happened that the UAB was the best choice, and it's good because that's where the world headquarters is located as well.
That's true. That's great. Well, I'll tell you, we've got a couple of minutes left. If someone needed a ramp or needed more information about help from the Civitans, how could they get in touch with you?
Well, they can, again, get in touch with any club member, and we do have our own Facebook page. Some of the contacts we've made and ramps we've built have been through, they contacted, messaged our Facebook page, and we try to monitor that and get back with folks as soon as we can.
That's great. And they also, if they like your page, they can follow and see the type things you're doing.
Yeah, see upcoming projects, we like to post that, and we'll have our newsletter posted on the Facebook page and see what's coming up.
And if someone wanted to join your group, how does that work?
Well, they have to be at least 18 years of age, and be a person of good reputation and character.
Sure.
We have meetings twice a month on the first and third Wednesday at the Hickory Street Cafe, which is in the hospital cafeteria. You can come by as a guest, and our first meeting that you attend, your lunch will be on us. But come learn more about us. We have applications available, and again, see any current club member, and we can fix you up with a application and invite you in. If you're not able to attend lunch meetings, just come out to one of our service projects. If you see when we have something going on, we'd love to have the extra help. And we've had people come out and help and don't join the club, and that's fine too. We just give you an opportunity to do some community service, and that's what we're here to do.
Well, gosh, we're out of time.